Alex, what do you think the future is for the distribution system and travel agents?
Well, number one, more than 60% of our business is travel agents. I think that number is not going down, it's going up. The number of travel agencies might be shrinking, but the number of travel agents is increasing. A lot more people want to work from home, want to have the freedom, want to be self-employed. I think the travel agent is a great way to do that, to sell not only something that the consumer loves and you love, but also something that you can do from home. You can do part-time, you can be your own boss. At the same time, you can earn money, as long as you add value. So the technology, it's great, but we have to be sure that we give the travel agents the tools that they need in order to make their work easier, better, more productive, but not to replace the travel agent. I think the travel agent, particularly when you're talking leisure, and even more so when you're going to a place for the first time, or outside of the country, whatever, you really need to speak with the person and hear the endorsement and the recommendation from someone who knows that is the expert. Okay. So I do think that, yes, the OTAs are growing, the consumer is going...
But it's for a segment of the market, I think, with OTAs.
Yes, correct, yes, but, and the consumer is going more, there's a lot more tools certainly for the consumer. The consumer probably, when they call the travel agents now, know a lot more. Just like when you buy a car and you get to the dealer, now you know a lot more than you used to. Anything you knew about the car years ago was what the salesman told you about the car. Now when the consumer gets to the car dealer, the consumer already know a lot of things about the car.
Yes.
Okay? But in this case, I think the travel agent can, of course, particularly when it's packaging, when it involves transfers, when it involves airfare, when it involves, it's not just the hotel transaction, and documents and recommendations, and particularly, I can add tremendous value. And I think that we see a lot of young people coming into the travel agent world. There's a lot of young travel agents that are attracted by that. They can add value, they can use wisely the technology, and they can really spread that out. So what I think is the future, we're going to see more and more travel agents, particularly in the United States. Let's just bear in mind that only 10 years ago, when the United States enforced the passports for Americans coming back to the country, only 18% of the population of the United States had passports, which is very, very low.
40%.
Now it's 40% that have passports. That's a lot of million of people now that have passports. Last year, there were 15 million passports issued in the United States. About half of them were renewals. The other half, 7.5 million, were new passports. And that pace is increasing. So that's 80 million in the next 10 years of people who have passports. And if they have passports, it's not an ID form. It's because they want to use it. They want to use it to travel. And they're going to travel outside of the country. And when they travel outside of the country, there's no better opportunity for the travel agent to add value.
Sure.
So I think that's tremendous opportunity in front of us. And I think that Americans traveling for the first time out of the country, because the other good news is that 60% still don't have passports. So there's a huge opportunity to continue to grow. I think the market for Americans traveling out of the country for the first time, we have only seen the tip of the iceberg. It's in diapers as a percentage of the population compared to Canada or compared to Europe.
Yes.
You know, the percentage of international travelers in Canada or in Europe going out of the country for the first time there's no change every year because it's mature. The US is an emerging market when it comes to travel outside of the country. So even if you had to fly on top of a new wall, you can,
We're going to find some way to get over that wall.
you will still make it there.
Fly over the wall.